Good morning, traders. Welcome to our trading room. It's Monday morning, very quiet. We're in the trading room looking for trade setups. And we're also recording this for YouTube, my YouTube viewers. It's once a week. And quick reminder to you that most of these forecasts that we will be making, most of the directions I'll be giving you could change even within today. If you don't know why that is so, you may want to look at some of my previous videos where I started with Aussie and explain how the direction, the bigger direction might still go, but then the lower time frame, up and down that we trade could happen. And yes, you would see here, there's a deep pullback. Something I warned you about. We expect this to come here, but then you got a deep pullback. Now that is not any sign of a reversal as yet. So I will do the Aussie very quick. And then we will go on to do all the majors. I will do cryptos. If you want cryptos, wait to the end of this webinar, and we will do some of the indices. If you would like to have all of these, if you would like to have the analysis of every single one of those that you see here, or mostly all the majors, all the Forex, some of the indices here, and all the cryptos we have here, except for the ones at the very, very bottom, you can join our live sessions. To join our live sessions, it's pretty easy. Send me a Skype message at Mangle it's in the description. Just scroll on to the bottom of the description. My Skype is there. Click on the link. Send me a message if you'd like to get that. So what you would get is 2 live sessions daily if you join the installment program. That is if you paid partially for the course until you complete the payment. If you make a one-time payment for the course, then you get access to all the live sessions we do daily, which is about 3, 4, 5, minimum 3, maximum 7, depending on how often things are happening. But on an average, 3 to 5. 3 is definitely so, and 5 is more likely. So those are you can even get to use the room on your own and invite traders to come in and join you and do analysis anytime you want. We will be doing a live training course starting on the 26th, I think, the 26th of this month. These courses happen once or twice a year. So if you would like to join us and learn how to do what I am doing, if you were waiting for one of these courses, now is the time to join. Also, next week, starting next Monday to next Friday, I'll be doing the 2 live sessions free for the general public, which means follow my YouTube channel, set your notification up. Once I post the video with the links in it, this video will not have the links. The next video I do today will have the links in it. So you will register, get access to the room, and see what we do. Join us. If you really want to know what we do in this room, join us. You'll have access. Thank you. Let's go. So as I was explaining on this one, on the Aussie pair, this move we were expecting to come and break the low. Now that is because we think that this is not the bottom of the consolidation on the daily, that they may be making a running flat there. So you've got 1, you've got 2, you've got 3. By all criteria, if they want to go up back, this would be a point from where they can go right back up. And then this would be the first impulse to the upside. This would be the correction. And this will totally go up. Where would it go? Well, if that happens, we're expecting it to come and break this top. Right? We would make the assumption then that this was all the correction, and this is going back to break that top. This was just a correction of the first impulse top. Now, I'm not expecting that to happen. And the reason is because you notice this impulse didn't have a lot of those corrections in it. Now, not always they're alike. This impulse could end up going like this with a deep pullback, like this with a deep pullback, like this with a deep pullback, and then eventually drop. And this would be V flat. And this would look exactly like this. We have seen that happen before. So every time you're looking at a pattern, you're looking at the next possible move. So the next possible move for us was this flag breaking the low, and it did that. Now, would this continue to go here? Well, we'll see. You don't have to chase it. You just wait for the setups. As of now, if we get a consolidation here, we'll continue to buy because that move is pretty big. On Friday, we were looking at a buy setup here. We definitely were buying this. At the top here, maybe not, but I think some of our traders still buy it. Now, when it was here, we thought it would break out. It did break, tag, come back, close the trade, and now we are here. So 2 things we'll be looking for. This becomes your first impulse. We get a correction here, and we leave that. That is upside. And that, if that starts, we will assume that it's going up all the way to the top. Not necessarily that it will. If this works its way deeper down to the bottom here, then We may or may not get a trade in here, depending on what setups we see. But then we will absolutely be going back up here, after which we're dropping to break the low again. See? Doesn't change. So now from here to here, we would have to decide if we get a trade stop, do we take the trade? And whether there's risk to reward in that trade. So it depends on where we get a flag here, whether the flag is a nice one, whether we really like that trade. Maybe we'll just let it come down. Maybe we even take the trade and end up with a break even before it makes another flag and another flag and another flag by the time it gets to the bottom. At least the buy would be okay. We can buy it to the top and then sell it. All of that could happen this week. So right now, what's the trade? I would say let's see if this consolidates here, because this looks like it's trying to consolidate there. Depending if we get a good flag here, then we'll probably go for one more down. We'll take it because the chances are they can come all the way to the bottom here. If this goes up, I don't think that's enough of a flag to buy it. So we'll probably expect this to come here, come back here, make a flat, and then we'll look for the upside. So which of those two is going to happen? Well, you don't have to guess, you just have to wait. And that's an interesting thing about wave analysis. It takes out the guessing. If you know what you're expecting to happen, then you wait for the confirmation for it to happen, and then you take the trade. So, dollar index. I thought this would drop one more because it was making a nice expanding flat there, but then we also assumed that this could have been the low. But there was no trade setup, right? And if you were trying to trade this on Friday, after you got a deep pullback like that, the thought process would be that it's going to drop. Now, we are not in the trade because it didn't break out. If you were going to buy it, I think we looked at this on the lower time frame, the 5 minutes. And if you're going to buy it, you would have to buy it from somewhere here. After this correction up, right? After this made 1, 2, you know they're coming back to this top. Because these two sharp waves are never enough of a flat. So they'll probably come back to the top like 1, 2, 3, go back here, break the top, and then drop again. And that was the thought process. Some of my traders got aggressive and took this trade and paid off well. On some of the other charts is much sharper than that. If you do that, then good for you. If not, then be careful. There's nothing to worry about. You didn't lose anything. So right now, what we're looking for, same thing like I explained in the Aussie. Are we going to go break this top? We don't need to break that top before we go down. Or is it going to drop from this point? So right now what you have is one sharp move down and one sharp move up. One sharp move up, and this was a very, very, very slow move down. See? And then it made another move up, another slow move up, made one sharp move here and then go. So at this point in time, we thought that would drop here until it made this. And then we said, okay, one more up, break this top, and then down. So you just keep trading this. Now it's at the top here. And this became a big flat for upside. So what you're going to look for here is, do we make another flat here and then go break that up? Two sharp waves are never a pattern. So we will wait to see whether we get a consolidation here for a buy, or if this comes back to the bottom here. Now, what is the difference? The difference is if this comes back to the bottom here, it will go back up there, but now you're going down. So if the consolidation is here, we're going down. If the consolidation is here, we're going up. We just have to wait. For the trade today, whichever comes, the buy or the sell. And the way it's looking right now, none of them are coming right now. Right now, it looks both ways. We're more inclined to short-term sell here. I'm more inclined to short-term sell on this one. On the 15 minutes, I think we could go with that. That sell could be very short in terms that it's still going up, but they're just going to break this low and probably do this, and then we'll end up with a buy setup. But the reason we might take this is because this is the top, and if they're coming back to retest this low, then you might get a good trade. If not, you get a break-even trade. So your job is to work for the break-even trade. And if it gives you a good trade, congratulations, you made a good trade, right? So you focus on the one that it might be a break-even trade so that you don't take a loss, and hope that it's the one that is going to go drop to the downside. Let's see which is it. There's a sell set up there. I think you can put that as an active sell on the 15th for my traders. Silver came down. Well, silver is not a surprise. We expected to come down. The only thing I thought when we were here Friday is that they might just tip this top here and then come down. Well, they didn't. They actually came down really slow. Nothing new in this. We were expecting that move to downside. So let's see what's next. Well, next is either they go back up or they break out of the structure, right? This is it. You either go back up because we're thinking running flat. We're thinking 1, 2, 3, go back up and then maybe drop, or they're just going to drop here and then this is just a correction of its own. But there's a reason why we think it's running flat. I'm not going to go into all the details, it's like too long. So there's a high probability that this thing goes back up. The probability for the upside from where it is much higher than the probability for it to break out, simply because of the structural way the whole thing went up. So we're going to assume that we're going to go back up one more. Let's say we have any trade setups. Nope. If you have anything, it's closer to a sell setup. So this would be more of a running flat here. Just a big running flat. There's a few other flats in there. You can look at it. And then there's a small one here. I really wouldn't trade that as yet because it just got to complete. If this is a small flag, it has to come down, go back up. If we get that flat, we start selling. If it breaks this low, go back up, make a flag, we buy. So right now, no trade. Gold breakout. Let's see where we are in the bigger picture. Looks more downside. Either this continues to go. I think this is likely going to continue to go down more. And then we'll see if it go back up from there. I don't think this is going to go because this is corrective. It's not, there are 3 flats in there. So I think we can go with that as corrective. This move that dropped is pretty sharp. Let's see if we get a downside. Could it still go back up? Yes, they could go back up. It could probably still go back up and make a flat and then continue to go. It will be a bigger correction. That's all. So right now we don't have any trade. On the shorter term, I think you're getting a channel. And if we get a channel, we'll trade it like a channel. Right now, it's not confirming that as yet. But if this becomes a channel, we trade it like a channel. So we can wait for a setup on that. Euro, short-term upside. That is, we're correcting this last one here. The move to the upside is sharp. The move to the downside is sharp. So we have to get somewhere, we have to get a correction. I think we can go with the buy. It's an aggressive trade, but we can go with it. We're going with that to start to see whether this is making a flag, a correction for more downside, or if we're getting back to the top, come here. So either they do this, come here and go back up, or they do this, come here and go back up. So the buy here is a good idea in that you can still get under 15, you can still get break even out of it. So I actually like this as a short-term trade to go with for the correction and see where it is. So we can go with a buy setup here. It's an aggressive buy, but go with it. Pang, it now broke. We didn't break the low. This is more of a sell setup. See, we didn't break that low. So this could still go up, and it might go up pretty high, but this one does not have a buy setup. Can we sell it? Let it go back up first. If it comes back up here, then we can start to look for a sell setup. Which means if this comes back here and it stays here, it will be a sell. That means Euro will probably just correct upwards, but faster. We don't have a sell setup. I wouldn't be selling this. Don't sell this. It's incomplete. It's too short. I guess I haven't trouble. Let it go back up, make a nice flat, and then we'll sell. Downside for this, also expected. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually break here and go back up. We would probably go with that as a running flat. It doesn't have to be. This could be a correction of its own. Also a 3-wave structure. But you could make a flat, go to the top, and then come down. It's starting to look downside. And if they keep dropping like this, if we get a flag here, we'll sell. So what we'll do is we'll wait to see whether this makes a flat and correct here. And then we'll go for the sell to break the low. The downside in this is a lot. I think we still have more. Yeah, we can make one more drop and that's it. That's all the deep correction. You had deep corrections in all of them, and especially in this one. You had some deep corrections pull back here. So not a surprise you get that. Let's see. I think we mostly look for a sell setup, but it's not there as yet. So I'll put it as a sell setup. Aussie. We just did this, so we'll wait for the setup. We don't have anything. New Zealand. Okay, we're in the middle of two. This has to go down more. Right? This could go down more one. More not it could go down more, but we broke the low, and I explained that last week. When you break the low, the chance at any time it can start to go up because we're looking for this one up. I thought that would probably drop one more there, just correcting here, and then they went up. So let's see where we are right now. The move to the upside is huge. You don't have to be in a rush to get it. And we don't have any confirmation it's doing that as yet. So just wait, take this off. Take this off, that's just a deep pullback. And now we wait to see what this does. Right, take this off. That broke, but it's close to break even because it was there for like 4 hours. And now we wait. Let's see what they do. If they make a flag, we sell. We're coming back to this low. We're not dropping off the bottom. If we get a flag here, we're going to sell to this low and go back up. This would be pretty big if they're going to drop. If we get a flag for the upside, we might not take the trade. We'll just let it come here and then go back down and then buy. So we'll wait for a flat here for the buy because the upside is limited. It's very short. I don't think you'll have a flag in the range to trade in. Yeah, that's 58 pips. By the time you get a flag, you're left at 20. There's no flag there as yet. So we'll wait. We'll wait for the setup and then we'll go with this trade. Do we have a sell setup? Not as yet. We don't have. There's a small running flat on the 15, but buying that is too aggressive. Let's wait on this. Yen, we have a buy setup. It could also drop, but the setup for upside to break this top is very likely. Let's see how this goes. Sometimes they start really slow like this with a few small corrections, small corrections, small corrections, small correction, and then you get a sideways, and then you get a drop. Let's see if that happens. CAD. Okay, we don't really have to go lower here. CAD has been amazing. I think I could still go with this as an expanding flat. If not, we will put this as the contracting flat. Or we will put this one as the running flat. I think this would be the most likely running flat one, this option. And this would be the equivalent of this before we go back up. So the equivalent of that might drop one more because I think it's much longer. Yeah, if we're going with this, it's going to be this. So put it like that. And if we come to this level before we go back up, and we will go back up, then we will go with this flat. If they stop here and go back up, we'll go with this as an expanding flat. We'll put it like this and go with that as an expanding flat because I think we broke the low. So is there any more downside before it goes up? The downside will tell us whether we're coming for this one. It looks up. It looks like it's trying to go down, right? I think we can agree that that is not going up. So we might end up with a consolidation here. Coming here, coming back, going back there, then drop here before we go. Now, this doesn't either look like a slow start. Sometimes you do get a slow start, but this one doesn't look like a slow start. So the assumption is this is just correcting the drop. Let's see. Wait for it. I think we have a few sharp waves in it too. We have this, we got this, we get this. It's going to stay here for a while. So you can take this out because this is not where we're going to sell. We try to sell it from the top coming down. But it's a sell setup. Wait for a flag from the top. Swiss. Put it like this now. Let's see where we are. The upside here is not surprising. They might even break that top. That could be a correction on the CAD. It might be a new up move on the yen. So we can go for a buy setup. Let's see if we have everything lined up. I could make an argument that they might pull back deep because I don't see this go with anything. So you could get a sudden drop before they go. I'll be careful with that. Put an entry above the top. If they tag you and look like they're not going, we'll get out of the trade. So we'll use the trade management. And if they don't break out totally, close it because you could get that sharp pullback before they go. Keep your stop under the low, under this one at least. So that's a buy setup. You can put it on, but if it gets a flag here, that would be much better. Euros, we're already going for that sell. It can drop and break this low, so I think we might break this low, which is a good trade. We can't take it from where it is right now, and there's a reason for that. So let's see if it's going to break out and come here. That's a trade we're going for. We've had 2 trades in this already that are very good. So let's see if this one drops. Right, this one could probably close and we enter here. You're getting this one. Let's see if this is going to drop. Okay, I do few. This EuroCAD doesn't have anything. And let's go down now to do some of the indices. Let's see what oil is doing. Oil went up. That's a buy. It's at the top. It's coming back really fast. We broke the top. So downside from here, well, they could make that decision to drop it from here, and that would be okay. Right? If you want to drop, you broke the top. If they want to drop it, great. So if we get a sell setup, we go with it. Turn out that's an expanding flat. The buy here was a good idea. Let's look at the first sell setup. You're getting a small flag here. It's really small on the 15. If you get a 1 hour, wait for a 1 hour one and then sell. So wait for a 1 hour flag and then sell. UK, same thing. Wait for an hour flag, sell. We broke the top also. Well, this one is pretty flat. This one, there's no question about this. This is super flat. So this one is a good one. Wait for the flag, sell. It's making a flag now, so we wait for that. S&P 500. Okay, that went pretty high. I think there was a buy setup here on Friday for the running flat. If anybody took it, there was a running flat buy setup here. I took that. You're out of the trade already. And now we're at the top of this structure. See? So from that point, we broke the top, we broke this top already. Take that out. And this one is not dropping from that point. So we thought it could drop from here. Well, now from this point, if they want to drop, that would be good. Right? It can drop from there and it could come all the way here and then go back up. So you come here, wait to see if you get a sell setup. Let's see if we have a sell setup. Nope, not as yet. If this makes a small flag, I assume it's going to make a running flat. And we can trade it. So I'll say let's look for a sell setup here because we're pretty high. A buy setup will take a long time to get. This one also didn't drop. I thought this small one would drop one more. They went up, make a new high. Let's see what we have here. This could continue to go, I think. This is the upside. Yeah, we can come all the way to that top. So doesn't necessarily have to go down from here, but if we get sell setup, I think if we get buy setups, we go with it. Nothing. And US 30. Look like we'll get most likely sell setup because we have a 1, a 2, and a 3. And we're in there. Okay, let's take this out and just put this one. So we're breaking out of that structure. So take this off and take this off. If we're breaking out of this structure, can it go up and can we assume that this was all the correction? I don't like this piece to be the correction. It doesn't look good. We looked at it already. This corrective piece in the middle is a problem. So let's see what they do at the top. If everything is going to drop, this could still drop because the depth of this pullback. See the depth of that already very deep into this. This one spiking above it doesn't really mean much. It could still drop. Just a deeper correction. So let's wait and see what we have at the top. If we get a flat, we'll buy. If we get a flag, we'll sell. The 15, let's see. And the 15, you're getting a flag already. That's a sell setup if it stays here. If it stays in this range, we sell it. If it goes back to the top, we wait for the buy. So for now, I'll put an aggressive sell setup. It's a setup, it's not there, it has to go back up. Nifty, nothing much. It's consolidating at the top, so they'll probably go up one more, break this top. DAX. Okay. It's a little high, but it still looks like we're in a flat there. I don't think this is all the correction, even if you go 1, 2, 3. So let's wait and see what it does. We're looking for a sell setup, but there's no sell setup. If it's going to go higher, if they consolidate there, we'll buy it. Tesla. Upside. Look for another buy setup. You're getting another buy setup here. Bitcoin. Yeah, the downside is still coming and it's coming strong now. So this flat finish, 1, 2, 3, it's coming down. Let's see where we're coming back to. This low. So if you want to sell, wait for a flag, go for it. I'll say wait for a flag, wait for it to come here, and then from here we'll see whether they go back up. I'll put it like this. Whether this goes back up or it keeps dropping. The sell setup is a good idea, let's say. Ethereum, also coming back. Ethereum could be more of a flat here for upside rather than drop, see? That could come to this level and still go back up. But if it drops all the way to this level, then the likelihood is we're going to break through. So there's a sell setup to break this low. That's the first one you'll go for. You'll go for a sell setup here to break this low. And if it comes this much, it might likely break through, and that's good for you. Could also come here and then go back up one more and then drop. But if they go from this point, if you come to this level here and then take off, we could retest that up. This might be a 1, 2, 3. It's a pretty deep pullback. But sometimes it's a crypto, sometimes you get pretty deep pullback. XRP. Okay, we're pretty much high there now. So any corrections, keep buying. Now this move, we could put it as an equivalent of this, but I think I'll wait on that. I'll wait some more. We might still be in this structure. It still might break the top and still come back down. So if we get flags, we buy. I don't see any sell setup in this yet. It probably is a running flat that it's going to be making. Come back here and then go. I think we had a sharp one here. So I could see this coming back here, making this a running flat and go one more up. And the last one would be this. I think we can go more up here too. This is trying to climb up here, but eventually it should drop and break this low. Right? Structurally, we're still in this consolidation. So buying it might not be a great option, but if you start to get a sell set up here with a flag, go for it to break this low and then to break this low. So, okay, guys, that's it for the weekly outlook. Again, to remind you, if you manage to make it all the way to the end here and you would like to have more of it, more of the cryptos, more of everything else we do, join us live. Send me a Skype message. I'll give you all the details of how you can join us live. Pretty much, if your intention is to join the group, all the sessions you're getting live would be free because you'll be paying for the course. So everything you get is absolutely free. Take care, trade with care, have a good week, and set up the notification to get the next video I post, because the next video would be with the links for the free weekly coming up starting next week, Monday. Thank you very much. Bye.